Hey, somebody told me a secret. They said, it's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Tell them, Canada Dry.
It's DAG. It's Dynamite After Dark. DDP bang.
Hit the intro.
Anything goes. It's Dynamite After Dark.
Woo! It is certainly Dynamite After Dark. I am your home skillet, your home boy, your home slice. I am the JFB, James from Boston.
And I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am Canada Dry.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but me and Canada Dry are all the tag team champions of podcast wrestling. We are now officially the trios champions of professional wrestling podcast because we are joined by the number 3. Tell them who you are and what you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the effing world champ, Trey J Styles, always ready, always on time, and always Dynamite After Dark.
Oh, yeah. Then, of course, we are joined by a rotating 4-man group.
The greatest hair in all of podcasting.
Greatest hair in all of effing podcasts. Tell them who you are and what you do.
It's me. It's the effing Golden Graham here, ready to talk about a great show at Dynamite.
Yeah.
Let's get going.
All right. Before we get,
if you look in the background of Golden Graham's background, you can see like the prayer hands and the word faith because that hair is blessed.
Yeah. It's like the Pope came down and touched it with his pokey hands.
It was like Rich Southwood was kept far away from his hair.
Man, oh man. Well, before we get started, we got to go, of course, with our Bobby Fish joke of the week. And we whipped the interns. We punched them. We beat them. We didn't give them lunch. We didn't even give them water. We said, make the damn intro. This is what they came up with.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
All right. What is the Bobby Fish joke of the week?
Well, I can't, I feel terrible that you guys went through all the trouble of doing this, and I don't have a joke. I just have a true story that I hope you guys would like to hear.
Ooh, I'm ready.
Okay. So as you guys can see, I have on my Hamilton shirt today, right? And it's not that I went over and I purchased it because I'm like some sort of fan. I was actually in Hamilton, right? Yeah. And I won a Tony Award because, as you guys know, Hamilton is basically a semi-biographical story of the life and times of Alexander Hamilton. It takes place in the 1700s, right? So I got cast in Hamilton to play Bobby Fish, who was obviously there during that time, right? And I won a Tony Award because as awesome as I am, I had to pretend to play somebody who absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
And I did it as best as I could, and the people they were really impressed by that level of dedication and acting, and it was great because I even had this one scene where Bobby Fish had to go to a doctor because he had dysentery or whatever one of those like late 1700s diseases was.
Yeah,
and so the only doctor that was qualified to work on Bobby Fish was an archaeologist.
Holy cow. That was
a
smooth.
long setup for that.
Hey,
that is smooth as creamy peanut butter, my friends. Woo! All right, let's get started. We did not start off with a bang. We started off with a roar, if you will. Regal opens with a promo, says MJF is not going to talk till next week. He's on a film set, which is actually true. He is filming a movie about the Von Erichs. He said he sent an email to MJF, which we were not privy to. I love that word privy. It's entering into my lexicon as we speak. And sure enough, we find out that we're not going to know about that email till next week. Out comes Mox. He looks angry and pissed. Ooh, yeah, it was boring. The Chicago crowd, let me tell you, I've been to a lot of venues. I've been to WrestleMania. I've been to the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. No one beats a Chicago crowd. No one does. Wrestling wise, they are bar none one of the loudest, most obnoxious group of people, and I love it. I love it. I love it. So Danielson comes out, steps in between them. Between Mox and Regal, everyone's done bad things according to Bryan Danielson, and then Danielson slaps the taste out of Mox's mouth. Mox gets the mic and he goes, run as far as you possibly can and run even further. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the opening promo with Sir William Regal, Sunshine?
I wanted to know why he did it, but I guess we're not going to find out till next week.
No, not going to find out till next week. They're pulling a Hogan.
I love that, though. I love that so much because it just like says, come on, we want to know more. They're making us hang. But it's great. I love that whole thing. I love that Bryan Danielson was defending him.
Yeah.
This is the man. I love this man. So good.
Yeah.
Everything about this I loved. But we'll see. Everyone thought he's going to walk off into the sunset and never come back. No, he's got to be back next week.
Back next week. Because he's got the email code. He's got the password to the email account. Fruitcat.
Fruitcat.
You don't know. Fruitcat is the patron mascot, if you will, of effing wrestling. Canada Dry's.
And Canada Dry decides to like remove our enjoyment of Fruitcat.
Yeah. So all right, Trey J, what are your thoughts on this opening promo?
It was like the weirdest reverse Lion King I've ever seen in my life. Like, you remember when Scar tells Simba, run far away and never return? And this is like I felt so weird watching that because the segment was so dynamite and it was just like everything was great. And wait a second, you guys got to switch places because I can't deal with this whole you being on the other side. Like, we got to switch that. That's not working for me. There we go. Now everything's regular. But like, oh my gosh. But I loved it. I loved Moxley like actually looking like a badass coming through the crowd. I like Mox. Like Mox that's angry for a reason makes sense. Mox when he's angry just because has never made sense. Bryan Danielson did make this segment really work.
Yeah.
Regal is probably the greatest like tease artist that we've seen in AEW in quite some time.
Yeah.
And, you know, it gave you a lot to look forward to. And the matches that were set up so far for Dynamite for next week look really great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a great follow-up to Full Gear. I mean, because Full Gear was such a great show, you had to come in with a bang. The Wednesday after any of their big pay-per-views, and they only have 6 a year, is you have to have that Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania feel. You just have to have a huge show. Mr. Golden Grams, your thoughts on the promo with Sir William Regal?
Okay, so like it was good, but I personally wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have even had Mox on the show tonight. Yeah. I would have waited a couple weeks, and I would have had Mox come back as a House of Fire then. Because for him to just come out and seethe and get slapped around by Danielson, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like, I would have much rather just had Regal come out, cut the promo he did, said, y'all ain't good enough for MJF. He'll be here next week.
Yeah.
And then walk out. And like the week after Winter is Coming, I would have had Mox come back. Yeah. And I would have had him cut just an awesome promo talking about how he's carried this company. He's demanding his answer from Regal now. Like,
yeah.
I think they could have got a couple more weeks out of this. That's just though. But like I said, for what it was good. So
okay, let's go on. Renee is talking with Keith Lee. Keith Lee is about to talk. He does his big heavy breath that he always does. Mr. Isaacs, good evening. And out comes Swerve Strickland. He covers the camera like this and says, "Let's talk." And Keith Lee's like, "Okay."
I love the fact that Keith Lee said, "Choose your words carefully." I was like, "Oh my god, that sounds like something."
He's about to pound the shit out of him.
Yes,
he's just literally going to beat the hell out of him. So, what do you think, Trey J, about it?
I think that was the right way to do it. I think, I am, really impressed with these first 2 segments, mostly because they didn't give a lot away. These are stories that we've watched build up for quite some time. To see them just is something that WWE has done so many times to negative effect. It's diminishing returns if you don't play out. Like even on this show, we've criticized AEW for sometimes saying that the chase, they know how to do a chase, but once somebody has a title or whatever, the end of the story, the conclusion of the story is kind of like, okay, now what? These 2 scenes show that they are at least trying.
Yeah.
And it makes you want to know what's going to happen next. What are we going to get next? And the fact is, you don't have to give that much in Chicago because the crowd is going to give you so much. It's like the last thing you want to do is give the crowd something and they give you that opposite reaction, because in the same way as Toronto has been bizarro world for WWE for decades, Chicago can sometimes
all of Canada, not just Toronto.
Oh, that's true. All of Canada.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And so to see Chicago kind of become that bizarre world for AEW, it's like, this is the perfect place to do your tease because the crowd is going to give you stuff.
Yeah. Joseph, what did you think about it?
I think it's good. And to me, it's showing TK evolving little, because if this was 6 months ago, they probably would have brawled or we would have got more than what we got having. He would have rushed through the story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello, Rich Southwood.
Don't you say hello to him.
My name is forbidden.
I have no beef with the superstar Rich Southwood.
Canada Dry, what did you think of the Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland?
Oh, I'm confused by the let's talk off camera here. What's going on there? But I like the build up, that it's not just quick.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that shit.
So after all is said and done, we finally get into our first match. It is Jake Hager versus Orange Cassidy for the All Atlantic Championship. Yes.
So I have a feeling. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone's kind of late to the party here. Is everyone just kind of finishing their Thanksgiving dinner here? Because everyone's just kind of showing up like, I have to eat my pumpkin pie. Hold on.
Thanksgiving's tomorrow, dude. Thanksgiving's tomorrow.
Well, some people have it on Wednesday. Dallas told me.
Yeah, that's usually Friendsgiving.
So
that's
maybe that explains why they're late. Everyone's
that's fine. They keep
now.
popping in. That's fine with us.
Welcome. Doesn't matter. Better late than never. So thank you.
So Hager versus Orange Cassidy. Hager with the hat is some of the best long-term storytelling that Tony Khan has done with no belt at stake. It is absolutely comedic gold. Hager loves the shades. Hager runs him over. I think there's something weird between Hager and the hat. There's this show on, I don't know, TLC or whatever, where it's people who have strange fascinations and sexual desires for inanimate objects.
My Strange Addiction?
Yeah, My Strange Addiction. There you go. Jake Hager's is the hat.
I would love to see a backstage segment where he's just like,
all I gotta say is that hat has to smell something awful. I'm sure he washes it, but oh, good Lord, with him wrestling in the hat for the majority of the time. We got
more than one hat. Is there like a stunt hat?
There's a hero hat, then there's the additional hats that have to take the place for the hero hat. Yeah. Instead of a test of strength, we finally got a test of hands in the pockets, and really good La Plancha from Orange Cassidy off the ropes. So let's go with Joseph Graham. Your thoughts on the first match of the night?
I mean, it was a good match. I mean, what I want to talk about is after the match. I'm assuming we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But yeah, I mean, for a match that was thrown together, last week. I have no complaints.
Okay. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the first match?
I love the hat. I love this gimmick for Hager.
Yeah,
it's so fun, and just like the fact that the hat cost him the match.
Yes.
It's like, no, I need that.
Yep.
It's not always about the wins or losses. It's about entertaining, and he's
exactly.
entertaining. Good on him. Like, he's been so boring for so long. The fact that he's got this now is great.
Yep, I agree. Oh, Trey J, what are your thoughts?
Oh, so I found that there is actually a term that is unofficial, but sometimes used. It's called a capellaphile, is a hat lover. So in this particular case, we have
like acapella.
Capellaphile. Yeah, I know, right? It does sound like acapella. I thought about that too. But apparently, like a La Chapelle in French, is a hat. So it's like being that he I think that's really the story. The fact that he had him in the ankle lock and he was able to turn it over and not power out of it, but he threw the hat, and that's what caused like the distraction and the win. It's like it's continuity.
Yeah.
It's like we don't know why he's
Holy shit. I have to interrupt you, but Dallas Branham is actually watching our show.
All right.
Like, he never he's always busy typing up results. So
I know.
That shit to do.
Although Dallas has some explaining to do, because Dallas says he's definitely a capellaphile, and I need him to become a stousophile because he's supposed to love me. So, and if he doesn't, like, we're gonna have some issues.
Okay.
But it was also funny because even the announcers played into it. They played into the idea that the hat gave him power, because when the hat came off, all of a sudden he's losing the match, and all these other things that were going on. It was just like, it's like we all, like, nobody here thought Orange was losing this match.
No, not in a long shot.
But we were really, I think, worried about whether or not we were really going to get the entertainment factor, or if this is just going to be such a, thing. And it was really good. And I think that given the crowd that it was in front of, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Because that crowd.
I always have my fingers crossed for Jake Hager. I just love him. I don't know why.
Jake Hager had a comic book, and it was actually really good.
Yeah.
And a lot of things about Jake Hager, just the things that just didn't fall into place at the right time. I mean, there was the weed thing, and they kept him from being a world champion. There was all those other things. So you want to root for him because he was really good in MMA.
Oh, yeah.
And so, he's that guy that has everything except for it sometimes. Yes.
All right. So let's talk about that's really nice. Dally says, "Oh, Trey, I do love you. I do love your handsome self." Well,
and Dal says, "I'm glad I can make the show this week. And we're glad to have you here as well."
We are glad to have you, guys.
It's Rob Gregg.
Hey, we love you guys too. So after the match, the factory comes out. My big question was why? Why were they coming out? Didn't make sense.
Nope.
And then the lights go out, and sure enough, House of Black shows up. First they take out the best friends, then they take out the factory. And Brody King is the only human being alive, male or female, that could pull off a bolo tie. Holy shit. Don't buy one, because Brody King will kick your ass for copyright infringement.
This is as close as I'll get to a bolo tie.
There you go. Yeah, that's as close as you're going to get to a bolo tie, my friend.
You got some too there, Joseph.
Canada Dry, what are your thoughts on the happy haps?
As soon as those lights went out, I'm like, yes, it's the House of Black.
Yeah.
And I love that the factory is like, yeah. And I'm like, you're going to get your guys' asses kicked. Oh, I loved it. And I know what I love about this is that the WWE marks were like, but he was coming to WWE.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Rub salt in the wound there, Canada Dry.
He was coming to WWE.
It's okay. They'll get Andrade. It's okay.
Yeah, they'll get Andrade.
Maybe we can make a trade. Who can we get for
It's
Andrade?
a fair trade. It's a fair trade.
Maybe Ali?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, possibly. All right, Trey J, what are your thoughts on the skirmish after the match?
So I kind of felt like an asshole. Like, everybody's like House of Black, House of Black. I'm sitting there like, oh shit, Danhausen's about to show back up again. Like, I was like, we're about to get very evil, very eviler Danhausen. This is about to get real. And it was just like, Then it was like Julia Hart was there, and I was like, oh, okay, I can get with this. Then I was like, isn't she dating Big Shotty?
Yeah.
Yes. So I was like all messed up there. I was just like, my mind went in too many different directions. Like my ADHD just was not quite ready for this. And then when they finally did the beatdown, I was like, oh, cool. They're gonna make the factory some young boys. And then like, they didn't. They beat them up too. And it was just like
they did have factory resets.
Yeah. They sent them back to the factory.
Oh man. Joseph Graham, your thoughts.
Yeah. First off, I thought the same thing as Trey J when they panned up the runway. I was like, is that Danhausen? But no. So and then my takeaway is, my God, freaking Brody King just clotheslined Kamaroto to next week, and it was beautiful.
Hey man, you don't talk about Bonesaw Jim Duggan that way.
Oh, but yes, I'm so glad they're back, man, and I hope they just, like they said, they're coming for everybody. I hope they just wreck shop and leave every night. That's all I want to see from them.
Yeah.
Eventually give up the trios titles. Just let them destroy everybody.
Yeah.
I was really impressed though. And I know this is like just like slightly off topic, but I was really impressed to find out that like Darby Allin, who has been a frequent target of House of Black in the past, that Darby Allin is going to be part of Muda's last match.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of that's a big feather in his cap, really.
Oh, that's a huge cap. I mean,
you know, Sting set that up. He's like,
had to.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
They were like, hey, we need somebody to take all the offense. You can do that. And it's like, there's nobody better than Darby Allin.
All right, Canada Dry, your thoughts on the? Did you already do yours?
This is on the intro.
Yeah, no, yeah, on the House of Black. Yeah, we already went.
I was first.
Okay,
he was first.
I was like, what was the question? Is there a one I missed?
I got lost. I'm engaged in this back and forth, but
it's great.
It is. So, anyways, video package of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Yeah. We know they just kind of replayed everything that happened. Our second match, Ethan All Ego Page versus Ricky Starks. Here's some of my thoughts. Page comes out with Stokely. Page is definitely building up the underdog role for Starks. Starks comes out staggering and looking like a mummy. I was a little irked, a little scared because I was like, oh, it's the mummy from the Universal Monsters. Good start. Should have been a technical match, but Page went to the power base, which made sense because that way he can go ahead and take care of him physically to set him up for like the Ego's Edge. And crowd fully behind Starks. Let's go with Trey J. Your thoughts on Page versus Starks?
This match was really smart to move this match to Dynamite instead of having it on Full Gear because it would have been almost impossible to read a Starks win if you had him wrestle on Friday, wrestle on the pre-show, come to this, especially all wrapped up. Don't get me wrong, the underdog factor would have been great, but he would have had to lose if you didn't want to destroy Page.
Yeah.
By moving it to Dynamite, this was a better situation. It was hilarious to see Stokely Hathaway get kicked out because the refs are so inconsistent with that kick out thing, right?
Yep.
And like look every time for everything.
It's a thing. And I mean, it was like, but I do feel like after Stokely pulls Ethan out of the way, the match kind of took a step back. It just kind of slowed down. The finish was fine. Always I watch Ricky Starks do spears all day long because he has the best spear in wrestling.
Yeah.
But and realistically the right person won and great underdog victory. It's just almost like it's just too soon to see him face MJF though, right? I mean, it's only 3 weeks away, right?
Yeah.
Trey J. Well, I need something from you.
Okay.
Most of our viewers weren't watching yet. So by the end of the show, I need you to have another Bobby Fish joke. Do you think you could do that for me?
I can come up with something.
Okay.
So we'll close with another Bobby Fish joke so they can see the intro.
I know they got to see it. It was such a good one. I made sure it was a perfectly long setup.
Well, you don't need a long one. You just need a good one.
That was a good one, though. That was comedy gold. Joseph Graham, what are your thoughts on the Page and Starks match?
I thought it was a good match. I feel like we're seeing the metamorphosis of Ricky Starks slowly but surely. It's like every week he comes out and more rapping. I feel like he's getting into a cocoon.
Yeah,
just something new. I don't know what it is, but yeah, right. I mean,
I love that.
Considering who the champion is, the right guy won. Yeah. I think they're going to have an awesome match at Winter is Coming.
Yeah. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
I think it would have been extremely weird if Ethan Page won to face MJF. I'm like, where are they going with this? Like, it would be really, really weird. So I'm glad that Ricky Starks is finally getting the push he deserves.
Yeah.
Because this should have happened a long time ago. He should have been main eventing because he's just oozing with machismo.
Yeah.
He's so awesome.
Yeah.
This match was great, and I love the underdog beat the hell out of you story. Yeah. No one takes an ass kicking like Ricky Starks. Tournament win.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get a Wardlow video package, which kind of rehashes what happened at Full Gear, and then we get Wardlow menacingly telling Joe that he's going to be a sloppy Joe at some point. We get a Jade package promo, or Jade with a promo. The only thing I want to remark on Jade was she had that bitch glasses. How fucking awesome is that? The glasses said that bitch. I want those glasses.
You can't pull those off. I'm sorry.
I get them up on the top. You know, I think it'll look good. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Rich, does Ethan Page challenge for the All Atlantic title now? I thought they would have done that in Canada, though.
I don't see it.
They have him in a match for. He was just getting ready to try to challenge for the world title. He could still do that afterwards. I mean, they still set the seeds up of the Firm versus MJF if they still decide to go that way.
Yeah.
I think we're going to find out the Firm is part of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I called it. I called it when I made that call because I have a feeling the Firm.
So
they could still do that. They could still do it to where someone thinks they're getting one over on MJF and just sits there and he just lays down for him. You know, you can always do something like that.
Finger poke of doom.
So would you show up to work in those that bitch glasses?
Hell yeah, I would. You kidding me?
I guess they know what kind of guy you are.
They know me pretty well. I've worked with this production company for a while, and they would not be surprised.
They wouldn't be bat an eyelash if you showed up with that.
Yeah, they'd be like, hey,
I'm not bitch.
The JFB's here, and he's wearing that bitch glasses. Let's get to work. So let's go to our
the B in JFB would stand for something completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us what it means.
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you about it. Making me blush now.
Oh gosh.
So we got the third match of the night. It is the match numero dos between the Elite and Death Triangle. Every time not every time because they've only done it twice, but I keep looking for Sam and Dean Winchester to come down the ramp escorting the Elite with the Wayward Sons. And
the crowd just boo.
Oh yeah, that crowd was hot. Penta, man, I love his ring attire going into the ring. Looks like Muda. It is freaking phenomenal.
How many masks does this guy own?
Oh, I would say thousands of them.
I think Penta does too, because he's not as much good quality, but
Pac with a broken nose. I can attest those plastic masks suck. They are freaking horrible. I had to wear one because I broke an orbital bone. You can't see anything. You can't see. All your vision is just fucked. Is basically what it is. So it looks like the Elite are going to be heels in Chicago. That was a nasty bump that he took from Ray Phoenix pretty early in the match when he landed on the side of his neck.
Yeah.
And then I want to call it copyright infringement. Kenny biting his opponent. He stole that from Ace Steel. Ace, if you're watching the show, he stole that He stole that move from you. The backstage bite is what he's calling it now.
He only did that to the Chicago crowd, right?
Well, he did. He also did the GTS. You know, he did the Macho Man.
On the same day, he's releasing something saying we need to get past this.
We
all need to
that's what I think about that comment.
Oh my goodness!
But to be fair, like they knew well in advance they were going to be the heels. They're in Chicago. There was no way they weren't going to be.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah,
but you don't need to fan the flame.
Yes, you do. That's Wrestling 101.
That's Wrestling 101.
And you got to think. The Kenny we saw in that match isn't the Kenny that was talking to SI. It's two different people, two different entities, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's the JFB working home, and then there's the JFB and AFW. Not the same person. It's very different.
Cross over the JFB sometimes.
Sometimes I do. That's true. Yeah. Sometimes I blur that freaking parallel line.
We all do.
Yeah. So, Joseph Grant, what were your thoughts on this match?
Oh, I loved it. Like I said, another story, so a little bit of a tweak this time. I think in case listening to you, JFB, because I think we're going to get the go up 3-0.
Yeah.
Because I think next week we're going to get Pac hitting Matt Jackson with the hammer, get the trifecta, and then we'll go from there.
I'm telling you, 0-4 Red Sox, one of the greatest comebacks of all time.
Man, 0-4 Red Sox are literally down to the last strike.
Yeah, down to the very last strike. So, Canada Dry, your thoughts on the match?
Thought it was great. Thought it was entertaining. But you know, it was weird. The setup for this is like they didn't. It's kind of after the fact. They're like, oh, and now you're down 1-0. What? What starts the series down 1-0?
Yeah,
that was weird. I thought that it was a great match. The announcers seemed a little awkward at first with the booing of the elites. They didn't kind of know what to do. And then it was like mid-match, they finally addressed it. I guess they're not on home turf, eh? Oh, they're good when they're getting booed. So,
I mean, but that said, they definitely turned that crowd around, all 6 men. They went from a lot of boos to they just came alive, and it was great.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they were chanting ole, ole, ole makes makes my soccer heart just pump a little bit extra, because they have Chicago's got a huge Latino community, and they love wrestling. And so that they were going bonkers.
JFB.
It was absolutely incredible.
JFB.
Yeah.
Canada lost in soccer today, 1-0 to Belgium.
Yeah, no. So Germany lost 2-1.
Well, it doesn't matter. Canada lost their first match.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's only one match.
Yeah, you got 2 more left. You can make it. It's an easy group.
And on top of that, you only lost 1-0, so that's a good thing too.
Yeah, they showed up.
Yeah,
Belgium,
they look amazing. So who's next on my list? All right, Trey J, tell me what your thoughts are.
I thought it was a great match. Like, I honestly thought that story-wise, the story is that the Elite came in, they lost their first match, they got the rematch, they got cheated. But I think they came in way too cocky, and I think that took good for the story. I think the idea of them coming in like, okay, this is not going to happen to us twice. We're better than them, blah, blah. Still love the Death Triangle's entrance. The Wayward Sons thing is definitely still like way over. Even had the Chicago crowd cheering at first before they realized, oh, wait, we do have to boo these guys. A lot of good dives, but I think, like, once again, Kenny is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this, and I wonder if that's by design, or if I wonder if there's a reason why the Bucks, especially Matt Jackson specifically, hasn't really done much.
Yeah.
And Penta didn't really show much this episode, except for like at the very end. I think that was interesting that Pac did took so much of the punishment throughout this entire match.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Omega and Phoenix starting.
Yep.
I like the fact that they did the handshake, and then like all of a sudden Omega's just like, let's get to business. It was a great match, and the ending makes sense. It's like they're telling a story with the way these matches are ending, and that's something. And I didn't hate where this match was placed on the card.
Yeah. So. Cool.
I got a question. Do you guys think this will lead to maybe Phoenix ultimately turning face again and maybe breaking and Death Triangle breaking up because of the whole Hammer thing? Because the Hammer story has to lead somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta close that loop. I could see both Lucha Bros leaving because of this.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Well, you could actually have them go as singles wrestlers. They've been tag team long enough. Maybe they want to go out and.
I mean, they've been singles as long as they've been a tag team together.
Yeah, but not in AEW.
No, you're right. Not in AEW, but freaking everywhere else in the world. So let's get to we get Renee on the ramp, and out comes Hayter. But before we get to that, we are informed that Thunder Rosa has let go of the title. She vacated.
Noble.
Yeah, how noble. She gets rid of that, and now Hayter is a legitimate AEW Women's Champion, which is freaking fantastic. But if I'm Tony Storm, I'd be super pissed.
No, they legitimized her reign too.
Nah, that doesn't. That don't mean. Yeah, they did. But still, like the whole time she had the belt, she's called the interim champion.
Yeah,
it's not the same, but after the fact.
It's an
I mean, it's definitely retroactive. So it's like you can be pissed, but at the same time, it's kind of like.
I mean, and not just that. If they would have did this sooner, it would have made Full Gear feel a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they should have done it right before the show started.
Well, that's that, and then honestly, that's Thunder Rosa's fault. It's not Tony Khan's, and it's not AEW.
No, it's Tony Khan's fault.
No, it falls on
it's his belt. He gets to make the call.
Yeah,
but to say that though, in a certain situation too, it's like, would seeing Tony Storm as the official AEW Women's Champion have made any difference? And in all honesty, I don't think she would.
Yeah,
I don't think it would. Tony Storm honestly did not step up as champion.
Yeah,
it got to a point where. Like we started, like us as a fan base started cheering for Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
Like way before Jamie Hayter was even really fully actively like the top number one contender.
Yeah.
Like that's because they teased a breakup between her and Britt 5 years ago. They never did
pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And then they gave us such a great tease here.
Yeah.
Where she was about to speak, and then Britt just jumps in, and it's kind of like, it'd be crazy if somebody who's incredibly ruggedly handsome, wears glasses and a Celtics hat, had said something about that once Jamie Hayter won the belt in Full Gear After Dark.
Justin?
Oh.
Okay. Damn, you guys are smooth. Anybody else have anything to add to the
I think it was very nice setup to really get this going.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit of tease there. She grabs the belt even.
Yeah.
From the ref.
Yeah.
And hands it to Hayter.
Yeah.
So
well, and that's the thing.
Things are gonna get little needles are gonna get to Hayter.
Yeah. And that's the thing when Britt came out with Hayter for the tag team match. Britt grabbed the microphone. So they're definitely doing it. They're sowing those seeds. And we're going to have another great long-term storyline that's going to pay off in the end with either Britt being champ or Hayter being champ. And I think either way you win. I know Canada Dry doesn't agree with that, but
I don't want to see
Britt Baker. My comment that Britt Baker deserves to be the champion.
Oh, hell no.
And I do feel like that.
I was impressed. I told you guys, I was impressed with how her and Saraya put on a show. But I would like to see someone else get the rub.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's interesting though. I feel like that segment though with Renee and Jamie and Britt ruined the next match, because then it was kind of a foregone conclusion of how this was going to go. Like, it's like, are we going to get somebody kind of stepping up? Like, will Trey J kind of, because Willow Nightingale in a match doesn't work. But like, is Trey J going to kind of step up and enter the title picture now that Hater's in there?
Yeah,
because that might be
I have a comment on that, Trey J. So the people in Dark were saying Willow Nightingale's shirt is selling like hotcakes on AEW shops. What?
It is.
Anyone walking around with a Willow Nightingale shirt?
Well, when I went to Ring of Honor Final Battle, like Willow Nightingale's stuff was like, people are really into her because she looks like a fucking teddy bear.
Yeah.
And yes, I did.
A Ring of Honor darling, sort of.
Yeah. So she's a Ring of Honor darling. So I think there's a lot of people that like her because her social media is supposed to be like all kawaii and cute and stuff like that. And she sells a lot. Apparently, she's very over with international crowds and stuff, especially.
Okay, well, she worked for Shimmer.
What weed are they smoking? But I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, she worked for Shimmer, so So I mean, she's going to get the rub here. I think she's eventually going to be a huge breakout star. I think it's just taking time to latch onto her. But let's get to the 3-way match. By the way, the JFB loves 3-ways, but he did not like this one. We had Hater
and the 4-way tonight, JFB.
Oh man, we have Willow Nightingale and Sky Blue, Anna Jay and Tay Mello. Weakest match of the night so far for me. Champ looked weak. Why did she not? I mean, I understand you guys sowed the seeds, but they barely were in the ring. I mean, they were barely in the ring, which makes me think, well, they just made the champ look a smidge weaker than what she did coming out of Full Gear. So, Joseph Graham, your thoughts on the 3-way tag match?
Wait a second. Before Joseph Graham goes,
yeah,
he's been frowning the whole night. I want to see this motherfucker smile.
No, man, I've been up, I worked, and I'm just tired, so it's been a long day for me.
I made you smile. That's all that matters. Go ahead.
Golden Graham gets off of work on the day before Thanksgiving, realizes he still lives in a world that Rich Southwood exists, and I wouldn't smile either. Like, this is like, how can you do that?
You're still smiling in this world, Trey J.
I mean, I smile because I'm better than Rich Southwood, but I don't know why everybody else. Everybody else is. It's tough for everybody else. It's tough for everybody else.
While Dallas is watching, you can maybe ask him to trade him to Wreckage.
I plan on it, but we gotta. It's like we have to give up. Wreckage would have to give up something, or like basically, like we'd have to make sure that Mayhem gives up something for us to take to take Rich Southwood.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Joseph, I mean, you're still on Mayhem, right?
Yeah, Dallas is my GM. So
yeah. So like, if we can get Joe Graham, then I'll agree to take Rich Southwood.
Oh, so we got to take 2 guys.
Yeah, because
you guys get a future draft pick out of this.
Yeah, right. Neither GM's involved.
Exactly.
I think we should do a fantasy podcast, fantasy sports podcast, and it'll be fantasy prediction league booking. And that's,
well, you know what? This Sunday we have a draft going on the podcast.
Nice.
We do on ours. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes. You're like, we do.
It's been a long day, boys. It's been a really long day,
guys. Right? You ready to talk about this 3-way tag match?
Yeah, let's talk about the 3-way tag match.
Fine, Dad. Way to go, Dad.
Look, a little story real quick. So throughout the day, Canada Dry was talking to me like, hey, I need you to be the backup just in case. And about a half hour before Dynamite ends, he sends me the link to this for the show.
Yeah.
And our response was like, look, y'all need to keep it on track. Don't make me just like crash the party.
Welcome to hour number 4 of this marathon of a podcast.
I forgot to message Austin today because he's supposed to be the guest, but I forgot, and thus he forgot. So he needs a reminder.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I think it was smart though to keep Britt and Hayter out of the match, because this way you didn't have to spend too much time with the tease. You had done the tease between them. Now you
We're
just
on to the next match, aren't we?
Oh, I thought we were
this is the match we're talking. We haven't even talked about the 3
Yeah, we just talked about Britt and Hayter.
Yeah. But no, I think that keeping her out of the match was a great idea, because the less that you give, the more storyline you have. And I think, like I said before, and I've been saying it this whole episode, the Chicago crowd doesn't need a lot of story movement. They'll do it themselves.
Yeah.
Small things, Britt getting the belt, and then giving it to Hayter, the cutoff, those things were the big moments. Britt even getting the pin, Britt doing the stomp was definitely.
But also the announcer no selling it, just like that's great.
Like it was just the normal thing.
Yeah.
So
and then we the smart fans pick it up ourselves.
Exactly.
So my biggest thing is, like, they mentioned it like, oh, this was set up on social media. Then put up a fucking package real quick, 30-second video package, and show us. Like, I hadn't, other than our little group chat, I didn't know this match was happening. I didn't see it on social media.
Nope.
So, and then on top of that, like, unless you're like the Hardys, the Dudleys, and ENC, you're not putting on a great 3-way tag match. It's just not possible. I'm not a big fan of them because it throws off the flow of the match. It just doesn't feel like I couldn't get into it. I was just sort of like waiting for the match to end. Honestly.
I put my fajitas in the microwave at the start of this match.
And once again, like, this isn't how the women's division should be handled. Like, you could have done just Trey J and Sky Blue and Willow.
I think Rob likes Layla Hirsch.
Yeah.
Rob just knows that I hate Layla Hirsch.
Oh.
Rob's fucking with him.
Yeah, clearly. Rob is starting to get on Rich Southwood level.
We're in sync again. I hated it from the start.
Oh my gosh. I was like, there are 3 perfectly reasonable Russians that could be in this match, and you chose the worst one.
Yeah.
I would have chosen the best one, clearly.
Yeah. They could have chosen Natalya and actually, had done something with her. And it's like, if you're not going to do Natalya, why not Masha? Masha would be decent on there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because I called her out on her actually not being a real Russian on Twitter.
Who, Masha?
A lot of heat.
Canada Dry getting nuclear heat from Twitter comments. All right, so we get
there, huh?
Yeah. So we got Renee. We have the Martins, Darius, and I'm blanking on
Dante.
Thank you. Dante Martin.
Wait, how do you forget the name of the one that's always here?
Right now.
I've been going since 5 this morning. It's been a long day. So we got Renee, we got the Martins, and we got FTR, and they decide they're going to challenge on Friday, which is Rampage. They're going to go ahead and put up the Ring of Honor tag belts against Darius and Dante Martin. So I thought it was a decent little promo, but yeah. I mean, Canada Dry, your thoughts?
I thought it was a great little promo. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Trey J?
If Darius hadn't gotten injured and then follow up that, like, the following car accident afterwards, can you imagine where Top Flight would be right now? Like, Top Flight was they strapped a rocket to Top Flight when they first got there. I mean, they were facing everybody. This would have been a believable match if Top Flight were at the level that they would have been at.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be something to write home about.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
it's gonna be like Dante Martin being in a championship eliminator match against.
Well, like, a good point. It's like they didn't earn this.
No.
It's just like, here you go.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of, they brought up AR Fox, and I didn't know that AR Fox had trained Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did you guys know that AR Fox was in an adult video?
Candy's not here.
Candy.
I can't do it like Isaac's. Isaac's voice was perfect for that.
Yeah.
So before we move on, can I just say something about this real quick? So, I'm kind of tired of the whole FTR being like you're great. You're going to be good. Like, I kind of wanted them to get like a little more of a mean streak. I don't want them to turn heel, but to get like a rougher side. Be like, look, we are FTR. Look at all we hold these belts.
Yeah.
Put us on TV. Like, we deserve. Like, I want to see like a little more of a rougher side from them.
Yeah.
Alice wants to be in the film, and Candy had to go.
Candy had to go.
That's right. Candy had to go. Candy's got to go. So we get the Acclaimed coming out. We learn that Daddy Ass can now, he is fully repaired and healed his scissoring fingers.
Me, Daddy.
That fucking Chicago crowd, I'm telling you, man, they are bonkers. And they do it mostly sober. No, I'm just kidding. 95% of them, they're just drunk as fuck. Yes. Then we get a video package from Jay Lethal and Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and seems like we know who the Acclaim are going up against next. It's going to be Double J and Jay Lethal. So, Trey J, what are your thoughts on this little thing?
It's the right move, honestly.
Yeah.
I would definitely, I feel like I'm going to enjoy seeing some back and forth between Billy Gunn and Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
I like the whole like rap versus rock and roll type or country.
Yeah.
I think this is going to give us a lot of opportunities to see Satnam sing. Satnam sing as not necessarily as an in-ring performer, but as a presence on television is getting better. And at first, it was one of those things that I thought I was really going to hate. And it's just one of those things that, like, you're starting to see, we're learning how to use this guy now.
Yeah.
And, Parker Bozier got apparently in a hit and run accident. So, we might not be seeing him right away.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why he's out. But, I mean, when you start having these, some of these bigger guys, not necessarily in the ring, but at least being able to do stuff. I mean, what they were able to do with him at Full Gear was awesome. I think that was really entertaining. It's definitely interesting, though, to be able to use Jeff Jarrett in a spot that you couldn't use Sanjay Dutt in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely something. And it really shows that, Jeff still has something in the tank. And, of course, we know Lethal can go. And now we'll actually be, because it used to be that, the younger wrestlers get into the ring with these vets and they learn something. And I think the Acclaim are going to get better because of this experience.
Yeah.
So definitely something I'm looking forward to. Definitely on the mic, in the ring.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Golden Graham, your thoughts?
As great as the match may be, I'm more interested to see Billy Gunn versus Satnam Singh.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be gold for me.
Yeah.
Like, I could just imagine the facial expressions from Billy Gunn now. I'm going to laugh my ass off.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But
all right,
my only little gripe is they lost, and now they're being thrown into a title program. Like, wait a week or two, have them win a match or two, and then do this.
Yeah. Yep. Totally agree.
I want to see.
Y'all hear the Chicago crowd say TNA sucks?
Yeah.
That was so jacked up, but it was so funny.
Yeah. I mean,
are they wrong, though?
It depends. Pre-Dixie Carter, no. I mean, pre-Dixie Carter, they're wrong. After Dixie Carter, definitely they were right.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with that. Before Dixie Carter, loved TNA.
Yeah,
I want to see Daddy Ass get hit over the head with the guitar. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Oh, that's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh,
know it's coming.
This man got his fingers cut off. He is definitely taking some bumps on this.
So we get to our main event of the evening. We have from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Tomohiro Ishii and the Ocho, Chris Jericho. I love Ishii. We got what I wanted, which was welcome to Slap City, bitch. As they just slapped the ever-living fuck of each other. Jericho, you know what? He can brawl, but you're not going to win it in a fight, a brawling fight, a brawl match with Ishii. Jericho obviously ready for the holiday spirit. He's spilling out cranberry red blood from his chest. That's right. He got hammered in the chest so much that Ishii tore it open. And then I also learned that next time I'm being put into a submission hold and I'm being submitted, before I submit, I'm going to flip the finger and then I'm going to go ahead and tap out with the finger.
With the middle finger still extended.
The middle finger still extended. I'm gonna tap out.
That's the first I've ever seen.
I've never seen that in my life. So, Golden Grabs, your thoughts on the main event?
Oh, I love this match. Just unadulterated, just slapping. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
Like, if you've never seen Ishii, you now know what every Ishii match is.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
and it's great. It never gets old. I said in our chat that, like, Jericho looks like he was just love tapping Ishii compared to what Ishii was doing to Jericho.
Yeah, pretty much right on the head.
There.
That?
I said,
like,
the proof is in the pudding there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, my only question is, I wonder what the end game is, because, like, Ian Riccaboni is really pushing this. Jericho is basically becoming what he wants to destroy, and that is the greatest ROH champion of all time.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what the end game is, but I'm enjoying the ride so far.
Yeah. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the main event?
I thought it was a great match. My favorite bit was the code breaker from Ishii.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yep.
I popped for that. The blood all over Jericho.
Yeah.
Was that legit, or did he maybe cut himself?
No, I don't know if he cut himself, but he had a cut on his chest.
Yeah, I know, but did maybe he blade a bit to make it look cooler?
Possibly.
That definitely looked cool.
Yeah.
Maybe, but Ishii did that damage to make it really work. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trey J, your thoughts on the main event of the evening?
There's so much there. I mean, just starting off with the slaps to the beginning, the slaps in the chest in the middle, the slap, and then to to watch Ishii, like, even do the insecurity, to do some of the things, the Saito suplex, which I think is the most underutilized suplex of all.
Yep.
Like, there's so much to enjoy about this match, and just being able to see Jericho, especially getting to get so many different types of opponents.
Yeah.
Is great. And to watch him, like, cheat against the people that he shouldn't, but then not cheat against the people that you would think he would, is incredible. The only thing I didn't like about this was Claudio at the end. I really felt like it took the air out.
Yeah.
Because Claudio is not over in Chicago.
No, he's not.
And it's like, not to mention the fact that Claudio was the one that took the loss at Full Gear. You should have been the last guy to step up.
I for sure thought that maybe it would be Ryan Danielson challenging for that title, not Claudio.
Yeah, and I feel like it's going to bother me because it really shouldn't be Claudio at this point.
But with Claudio finally getting that match, Jericho's going to retain, because I think Brian will be the one to eventually take it.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's a good way to give him a last hurrah before he sets on the dusty trail, so to speak. So
and one last run.
Yeah.
Really this episode also kind of gave me some real questions about Daniel Garcia. Like, he really has been inactive.
Yeah, like he sort of just disappeared.
Yeah. Like,
He's
definitely
gimmick, and that was it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's there, but it's like, but he's not been in action. And I'm like, he was on such a roll, and it makes you wonder, like, was there more to that?
Dark. He's been on Dark, so.
Oh, okay.
They definitely screwed up by putting him back in with Jericho. That's my opinion.
It was a dead end move.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, unless they're going to keep going with Jericho cheating to win, where eventually Garcia is the one to unify these titles.
Yeah.
I really don't see. I feel like last week it shouldn't have been Sammy in that match. It should have been Garcia.
Yeah.
And I do too. And I think that is, like, proof that something's going on with Garcia. They don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, injury wise?
Yeah. I think injury wise, or at least, like,
well, if he's not in the final battle, he's injured.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we've come to the end, and of course, we can't end any podcast without two things. And the first one is give us your number of bells 1 to 5.
Wait.
No,
Let's
we're going to do
another Bobby Fish to the.
we're going to do the Bobby Fish after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to end strong.
Okay.
Got to end with the right book.
Okay. You got to think. You got one?
Oh, I had one. I had one 5 minutes after you said I had to do a second one.
Oh, you're quick on them. Yeah.
All right, so give us your bell ratings and give us your match of the night. Canada Dry, you go first.
I don't have it yet, so move me to second.
Okay, Trey J, you're first.
So I went with the trios match, and I'm really going with the trios match because there was a reversed One Wing Angel and there was a GTS in the match. Definitely my favorite match of the night. For entertainment value, nothing touches the Orange Cassidy match for the entire duration of the evening.
Yeah.
But favorite match of the night is definitely going to go to the trios match. And I'm still looking. And plus, knowing that there is going to be 5 more of these matches, this didn't make me hate it. Yeah. And that's one of the things. I didn't get sick of it. Even though I'm starting to feel like they may want to start spacing these out just a little bit more. Yeah. Because next week being the third match, I'm like, okay, so we've gone 10 days and we've had 3 matches.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let them have some one-on-ones to space this out, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Golden Grams, number of bells and your favorite match of the night.
I'm giving this 5 bells. Like, I have no serious complaints with this show. Little minor thing here or there, but I thought coming off of Full Gear was a great show. Yeah. And just for a little variety, I'm giving my match of the night to Jericho and Ishii. Yeah. Okay. Just, like, Jericho is like probably on the roll of his life, I think. Like, this is the best like series of matches since he's won this ROH title that I've seen out of him in a very long time.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely agree. Canada Dry, you're up last.
Okay, so I'm still trying to figure out what it is. Nothing really blew me away, I guess. So I'm gonna go with the trios as well.
Okay.
He says that's so defeated. You know that, like, I'm gonna go.
I gotta pick the buck or something.
Well, I didn't want them, but I guess it is. But yeah, I'm gonna give this show 4 bells.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 4 bells as well. I thought it was a great show to get into the next pay-per-view. You know, you're coming off of Full Gear, which was a huge monumental pay-per-view for them. You got to go in. It's like WrestleMania and Monday Night Raw. You have that heat because people are there. So I'm going to give it 4 bells. My favorite match was Ethan Page versus Ricky Starks. I love underdog wrestling. You will make me mark out all the time because you have to love the underdog story. And I mark out for it. And I'm unabashed about it.
So what you're saying, JFB, is after Death Triangle win next week, you're going to mark out for the Elite to come back and win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I will be like, I will make dolphin sounds like you've never heard.
So what you're saying, JFB, if I'm getting this right, is that anytime Rich Southwood faces me, you're gonna root for Rich Southwood?
Yep, I'm getting a Southwood Rocks shirt.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like, are you really ready for that level of disappointment?
Whoa, Trey J. He's not Northwood. He's not Westwood. He's not Eastwood.
Or Dollywood.
Or Dollywood. Not Dollywood. He's Southwood.
He's Southwood.
I'm gonna kick him in his Southwood.
Okay. All right. So we come to the end of the show, but of course we have to end strong. And I'm going to play our intro because the intro is really cool and our interns did a really good job. It is the Bobby Fish joke of the week. Rocket.
All right. So, as you guys know, in January, Impact has its next pay-per-view called Hard to Kill. Yeah. What you may not know is that pay-per-view is actually named after Bobby Fish. The Black Plague couldn't kill him. The Spanish flu couldn't kill him. That motherfucker's been shot 17 times. That man's been dropped out of planes. He was actually ground zero during World War II when they dropped the bombs. Still didn't make it. Like, this man is like a cockroach. He is literally hard to kill.
Yeah. All
Is
right.
it possible that Bobby Fish is DB Cooper and he jumped out of the plane with all that money?
I thought that too.
I felt like that would have been low hanging fruit. I wanted to say that at first.
But you know what? Sometimes that's the right move.
You're
How do
right.
you think he paid for wrestling school back in those days?
What wrestling school? He invented wrestling.
Yeah, he invented wrestling.
He invented wrestling. That's how he paid for wrestling school.
Yeah.
That man literally has a picture that every time he looks at it, it gets older and not him.
Yeah.
Like if we break the picture, Bobby Fish turns to dust.
Hey, real quick, before you end the show, JFB, just want to say happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy the day tomorrow with your family.
Yeah.
Definitely, everybody.
Yeah.
And if you're in Canada, happy Wednesday.
Yeah, it's hockey now.
No, JFB, Canada Dry, happy birthday. Happy Thanksgiving to you. You wished us one on Canadian Thanksgiving. You're going to get one back.
Okay.
And honestly, I feel like this is a perfect segue because this is like Friendsgiving and I get to spend it with my friends.
Yeah. This is Friendsgiving.
I love you all so much, but I'm not even drunk.
Love you guys too.
My heart is kind of fucked up, but
is that your Canadian heart up there, Canada?
we gotta make hearts up here. Let me see.
Yeah. What we learned today is Canada Dry has a fucked heart.
I think he's like the fucked heart of the Heart Foundation.
Also, don't forget that in addition to tomorrow being Thanksgiving, it's also Fuck Rich Southwood Day. That day does come up 313 days out of a calendar year. So
you know he's on AFW backstage this week. Are you going to troll him on the episode?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. He's good.
I'm gonna need you to send me that link just so I can just pop in as soon as he says something like sideways. I'm like,
You'll have
what?
to talk to Liam about that to get that link. So
I might.
Yeah.
Reach out to Liam because he's in charge.
Tell
of
me
that.
if you want to pop in, and he'll let you come in.
Yeah.
All
right, so that is the show. You can go to our website at fnwrestling.com. Scroll all the way down. You're not far enough. Yeah, I'm right there. All those little rows of icons. That is all our social media. It's our Twitter, our Facebook, our Prediction League on Facebook. We are also on Hive as well. We just joined today. So
Hive right now, just listening to this.
You bastard. Anyway, so if you like merch and you want to wear our swag, go to prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. If you are a hardcore old school wrestling fan, you love Adrian Adonis, and who doesn't, go to his Pro Wrestling Tees store because we run it. It's prowrestlingtees.com/Adrian Adonis. So on behalf of Golden Grams, Trey J Styles, Canada Dry, I am the JFB.
And remember, just keep fighting.
Woo! This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.